Right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you very much to everybody that's already joined us. Who have we got in the chat so far? We've got James Jones, Stephen Dunn, and Kevin Rand, and a couple of others that have yet to comment. So, of course, welcome to the channel. We're going to be discussing Age of Sigmar today.
Yes, and that is it. No politic here.
Until after.
I knew that was coming.
So, Apollo Syndrome, I think that's Dazza. Andrew Facey, hello. Welcome to the stream. Now, there's been a couple of changes. Firstly, thank you very much to everybody that has supported us on Patreon. It's greatly appreciated, and you do get early access to battle reports, as well as army lists of what models we've got, which we need to update, actually.
Yes.
Because it's about 4 or 5 weeks out of date now, when we last did it, so we need to get that updated. Lucy is very kindly washing some of my daughters' cane for me.
Yes, and be painting them.
Yep, and
taking them.
You know, maybe. We've resprayed her Stormcast metallic purple, and I can show you very differently this time. We've got Ray Minto in there. Ray's also a Patreon, so thanks for your support again, Ray. Rick Lewis, one of the Patreons, actually made a donation via PayPal previously for a new webcam. And if you want to see what it looks like, well, it's this. So I picked up an arm to attach it. Oh, that's the wrong one. With that, there we go. Both cams. So Lucy's resprayed her Stormcast.
Like half.
Right there. My light's in a bad position. This is awkward. There we go. So it's metallic purple, and then the top down. That's a really bad position for the light. There we go, that's a bit better. So, yeah, metallic purple. And this is Heralda. She started working on it. And I would say a good quarter of your army's resprayed now.
Oh, definitely.
So she's basically repainting the whole lot. If you want to see what the daughters are going to be looking like, here's a little sneak peek when the camera focuses. The autofocus isn't great on that. I need to have a look at the settings. But yeah, all base coat and wash so far, and of course the green purple flip paint on the tails.
They're really lovely models.
They are. There's so much detail in them. I was actually starting to get fed up early, which is why Lucy's kind of took over. What else have I been working on? I've been working on some Deathwatch objective markers. So here's the Tau 1. So floating drone on an energy tower. Here's the Necron one. So I'm doing one for each faction basically. Orc one. And so forth. So that is a thing. Lucy's also been working on this for me, which of course is the Khitan. Very much thanks to James Brown. I couldn't thank him enough when he just walked over to me at Warhammer World and was like, "Here you go for the channel." So wow, amazing! Thank you so much. There is going to be a series of videos, but I've already done the first one. I need to release it tomorrow. Basically following the progression of getting this guy painted up, because James is going to get the first game. And there's the base with a knight from I want to say House Terran on the base.
I thought it was Ultramarine.
Knights are different though.
Oh, yeah.
So you don't have an Ultramarine knight. You would have a knight that aligns themselves with the Ultramarines. I play House Krast, who align themselves with Mars. And if the rumours are true about House Krast, reroll failed hits in the combat phase against Titanic models. It's not great,
No.
but we'll see. Anyway, massive shout out to Rick Lewis, of course, for doing this. Greatly appreciated. But today is going to be about Age of Sigmar.
For now, at least.
For now. Now, there is loads and loads of articles coming out on the Age of Sigmar page regarding faction focuses, changing of rules, things like that. Now, it's really difficult to actually keep up with them because they are releasing so many, but the problem is the faction focus ones, it's a massive, massive text wall to get one or two bits of information at the end. And me personally, I struggle to read and absorb what I've read. So what we've got, I don't remember the guy's name unfortunately, but we do have a blog where all the changes have been kept up to date in one place, apart from today's faction focus regarding the Caradon Overlords. And they have now officially clarified the shooting rules. So we might as well discuss shooting first.
Mm-hmm.
So now you cannot shoot out of combat. You can only shoot what you are in combat with.
Which, when he told us, he first saw this earlier on, I was like, oh, yeah. But the more I thought about it, I like it. I know that was a big thing about Sigmar, that you could shoot out of combat. But when you think about it, it's unrealistic.
Incredibly. I mean, by all means, shoot what you're in combat with. I mean, let's face it. Even looking at Lord of the Rings, Legolas is going to shoot what's right in front of him, isn't he? He's not going to turn around and let someone hit him. So it is good that they're doing that, but then that means that tactically you need a fast-moving unit to get to the enemy's shooters to tie them up, so that they can only shoot them. And Seekers, Lucy, are very good at that. 15-inch movement, I think it is. And if Tom's watching, Tom will be able to tell us actually, or Graham. I think Seekers can move and run, which gets them nearly to 20. I think because they get +1 to the advance, because of the horn, and then +1 to charge rolls. So fast-moving Seeker units are going to be. Yeah, definitely. Well, hey, oh, that was another feature I totally forgot. James Jones, thank you very, very much indeed for the super chat donation. That is now a thing. James very kindly sent me the message on how to set that up. So very much appreciated, James. Harry put this towards a new night. I don't know what you're talking about, James. I really don't know what you're talking about.
What's the other
Here. Will Pollock, Sharpie is here. Always preferred the Lord of Skulls to the Khitan. Not gonna lie, still an awesome model though. Yeah, Lord of Skulls looks amazing. But I may pick one up at one point so I can run a 3 super heavy detachment corn army, because Brass Scorpion plus this plus that equal very good. Giant Rats will too. Yeah, Storm Fiends move really fast as well, don't they? So I think Lucy might be using her Paladors a little bit more than she used to.
I've lost a brush.
What brush?
Medium beer. Small beer.
Small base? It's there, isn't it? Medium shade. Hey, just take one out there. It'll be in there. It'll be in there somewhere. I'm holding fire on building my Sigmar army at the moment until the new rules drop. Lucy's pretty much doing that with Sigmar, with her Slanesh, sorry. I've got my Khorne Demons ready to go because I don't really need to paint anything else, but my Mortals aren't. I am going to try and get them done, but my Daughters are what I'm working on currently. I'm going to run a Temple Nest just to get things up and running along with Morathai, because I figured painting 20 snakes and what's it called? The Bloodrack Shrine is easier than painting like 60 elves.
Yep.
Plus, I do like the snakes. Plus, flip paint. What's not to love? And then, of course, Morathai in there. So we'll wait and see what happens for the rules. I think one thing as well, actually, which we'll get to when we get down to it. -1 to hit targets if there's a unit of 5 or more models within 3 inches.
Is that?
That's been confirmed.
Wow.
Yeah. So you can't. It's not like 40k where you can't target them. You can, but it's at -1 to hit. Now, Kurnoth Hunters took a bit of a beating by the point increase, so they're not great. And if you roll like Lucy, they're definitely not great. No offense.
None taken.
A further -1 to hit means the Kurnoths may not necessarily be as good, but they might accept that the boars maybe need to be a few less points. Luckily, I magnetized your second unit though.
You did.
Are you getting the third unit?
No.
She says now.
No, no. I've already said my next plastic purchase is going to be another box of Dryads because I love big blobs of models because loads of dice to roll.
Well, technically another 2 boxes because you want a third blob of 30, don't you?
Well, yeah, whatever.
So, yeah, that's going to be her next thing. Because you only get 12 in a Start Collecting box, but you get 16 in a box of them.
Mm-hmm.
So, right, wait there. Couple of comments to catch up on. Always prefer, so are Screamers. Yeah, Screamers are fast. I'm holding fire. Liking what I'm seeing so far of the new rules, though. Yeah, well, we're going to have a look at them because in my infinite wisdom, I've learned a lot of things this week. Impartial, thanks very much to the Patreons for their support this week. Oh, another thing as well. Open invite night at Battle Bunker was, I would like to say, a pretty decent success. It was the first night that we've ran it, so
And torrential rain.
And torrential rain. So basically, I played against Luke, who you've probably seen if you watch the Age of Sigmar battle reports. We brought his Death Guard onto the channel and a debut in the form of a Primarch.
It's only the second time you've ever faced one.
And you guys haven't even seen the first one yet, unless you're a Patreon, in which case you will have. But that one will be out next week. So it'll be the second Primarch. But basically, if you turn up the Battle Bunker every other Friday night when I'm there, with a fully painted army of the same game system that I'm playing, then it's free to play. You can obviously hang out, you can ask us questions, you can see us film battle reports, see how things are done if you haven't took part in one before. Lucy might be there playing, she might be there painting. You were painting this week.
Yep, I spent the night talking to Dylan Haywood.
Yep.
He came along for the first time. I've met him a couple of times. He's like dropped stuff off for Harry at mine. Unfortunately, I've been bad and spaced out on my painkillers, so I haven't really spoke. And honestly, it was an honour to speak to him. He was a really lovely guy.
Yep, Dylan's an absolute lovely gentleman, and it was nice to finally meet him. I met Ian Minto, who was in the chat, I believe, who was one of the Patreons. Craig also popped down, a recent Patreon, and he had a game of, I think it was about 4,000 points of Blood Angels, him and his cousin versus 2 other lads. Ian was there playing Blood Bowl. Graham came down with Callum. They were playing actual Warhammer Fantasy, square bases. What's that all about? So yeah, it was a success. Justin offers discount on Games Workshop products, 15% off. He's now started stocking Warlord Games stuff, and you can get Infinity, Batman, Knights models, all that jazz as well. So yeah, go and check him out. He does do delivery now, which is great because he never used to. Right, wait there. A couple of things to catch up on. New rules look really good so far. Can't wait to drop Nagash with 30-inch unbinding.
I know.
Yes.
When I seen that, I couldn't believe it.
Because, like, especially in the first turn, if you go first and right, I'm going to put Mystic Shield on that. I'm going to give like +1 to wound on that, +1 to hit on that.
If you've got a very strong spell army,
all rude.
Turn 1, if you go first, for at least that turn you are unstoppable.
Yeah.
But now we've got the chance to unbind from 30 inches. It's just like, hi.
And of course, Stormcast Wizards.
Very excited.
Vandus, in fairness, did tell us.
He did. He's here.
6 months ago. So welcome to the chat, Vandus. We'll get all the new rules in a second once we catch up with everything else. I run 2 super heavy detachments for Tau. No, I don't mean the individual auxiliary ones, Will. I mean the actual, where it's 3 super heavies in 1 detachment for 3, for 3 command points. My mate's starting EOS in New Edition with Start Collecting Skeletons and Nagash. Most of his army's there. Need to get up there when visiting family in Cumbria. Cumbria's still the other side of the country, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Cumbria's on the west side of the country, we're on the east side, so it's still a good 2.5 hours cross country.
But worth it if you get a game booked up.
It does. Daz says, does Lucy play 40k?
She does, but she doesn't like it. I can play I've played loads of actually. I played a big campaign against Admech with a Tau.
You even played the Tower against Tony in that Apocalypse game.
I did. I can play the Dark Eldar and Harlequins, but
Harlequins, she really, really wanted to play. The issue that she has with Harlequins is when every guy in the squad is kitted different.
Yeah.
Which, thankfully, now that the Codex is out, and I'll vouch for this, like, there's so many things. I don't mind now taking 4 guys kitted out the same and then one just as a meat shield to die. Like, and because I've managed to actually get a few extra fusion pistols and stuff, the Codex is very, very good. So we might see you play them.
I'd rather concentrate on Sigmar at the minute. I will play push comes to shove if he needs a game, but I prefer Sigmar.
Yeah. You did use your Slanesh in 40k.
I did, yeah.
And you got a lot of compliments on that game, you know, and saying that your army's beautiful. And it is. It is. The only thing that Lucy doesn't like is her memory's not like mine. I can play an army a couple of times and remember most stuff. Christ, I don't even read I'm guilty. I don't even read the rules half the times because I just happen to seem to remember a lot of it. Lucy likes Stormcast because your prime in the unit gets 1 additional attack or +1 to hit, and then you've got the special weapon.
That's it.
When she was playing Demonette, she's got to remember 6s generate extra attacks. If there's 20 or more models in the unit, it generates an extra attack on a 5. The Hornblower gives you +1 to run and charge. The Banner Bearer lets you get D6 models back if you roll a 1. The Leader gets an extra attack.
And is others that are just...
There's most demons have 2 different types of banners. I can't even tell you what the other Bloodletter one does.
Yeah, it's just too much and it puts us off.
Yeah. But I think another thing as well is the chariots.
Oh god, yeah.
Now we got 3-star collecting boxes for Slanesh altogether. And so she's got an Exalted Seeker Chariot, a normal Seeker Chariot, and then a Hellflare. And then we've still got 1 more to build. And I think that is the issue because they're all so similar and all so similar names. It's hard. Like, if she had 3 of the same one, she'd be fine, wouldn't you?
Mm-hmm.
But I think because we knew we weren't buying anymore, and because there's no way you can magnetize them, we basically said, right, we'll build 1 of each.
Yeah. But anyway.
Should we discuss some rules?
Yes, let's. Hello, Vandus.
Yep, let's catch up on the rest of the comments. So, Stormcrackle's announcing its arrival. Hey guys, except if you spam Wrath of Khorne Bloodthirsters, fuck you, Nagash.
Zinch, no. I agree with Will.
It's east side of Cumbria, but it's more than west of Scotland. Will, whereabouts? Because, like, we're still a canny way from there. Ian Stanford, evening. Blood for the Blood God, of course. And Souls for the Death God. Or Souls for the Elvish Gods.
What's the next god?
What town or city are you guys in? We're near Sunderland. Lucy is a Mackham. I am slightly further outside of Sunderland than where she is. Ronnie Anderson, hello, Governor. Welcome. Exalted Seeker for the win. In Sigmar, yes, the Exalted Seeker Chariot was very, very good.
Mm-hmm.
You played a game, obviously not filmed, against Phil's Dwarves.
Yeah.
His Dispossessed, and that was really, really good.
Like I say, I played the 40k with him. In Sigmar, the Hellflare is best to go into combat with. Does D3 mortal wounds when on the charge. You would think because of the way it's built, it would do the same in 40k, but no.
It doesn't, but it also swings at strength 9 in 40k. So, poor dwarves. Right, I came over after the game and Lucy had, what did you have left?
Keeper.
Which was wounded.
Bunch of demonettes.
Not even 10.
No. And some sort of hero.
Yeah, and Phil had a hero and like 4 dwarves left, yet he won.
Because it was the wounds. Stupidly, the last turn, I targeted the 1 wound modelled dwarfs instead of going for the 5 wounded hero.
Which would have counted as 10 because they were playing open war.
Yeah. It was still fun though once Harry reminded us, which luckily Phil is really good as well, and he remembers once he's been told things once or twice, so he remembered the names of
what chariot was what.
Yeah.
I think, to be honest, if we're going to be playing Sigmar with the Storm, with the Slanesh, we'll scale it back and literally just go 1 or 2 chariots, demonettes, seekers, and a keeper.
Yeah.
And probably start from the ground up and just go for a lower point. Because especially with me getting my daughters ready as well, it would be pretty handy for me to get some practice in with them.
Yeah.
So expect to see a lot of Sigmar coming over on the channel soon because Bryn very graciously played Deathwatch versus Harlequins. But Bryn, you probably know him from Age of Sigmar Battle Reports. He has Ideneth Deepkin, Iron Jaws, Khorne, he's got Maggot Kin.
He has got something else.
He's got something else as well. So you're going to see a lot more of Bryn playing Age of Sigmar. Bryn and Lucy are going to try and film some games together.
What we're going forward with the new edition, I'm going to try and sort of take over the Sigmar part. So Harry can concentrate more on 40k, seeing as he prefers that and I prefer Sigmar. So I'm going to be trying to start filming swimming one. I have done one. It was against Bryn down a battle bunker, and it would have been really good, except in the kerfuffle of recording, trying to remember everything, the fact that I hadn't played properly in a while, I kind of used the wrong rules model. I decided to put a couple of models that I haven't used for ages on.
Yeah.
And yeah, enough said about that, the better. But I am going to do a bit more practicing, and luckily I have got Battle Bunker right there. Justin is brilliant with his rules. So
yep, absolutely. Bryn and Lucy's going to be going halves with a new starter set.
We are, yes.
So obviously you can expect to at least see them. With let's have a look. Oh, so many comments. I need to catch up.
Keep getting sidetracked as well.
Zinch is the best god. I am finishing my 10th Bloodthirster. That is disgusting, Ian. Poor dwarves. I once did the Exalted Charge on an EOS versus Infantry. So the Exalted Seeker Chariot charged and dealt 23 mortal wounds. What? Imagine that chariot charging into my squad of 30 Bloodletters.
Oh, that would almost be as bad as me 10-man unit or Decimators. Remember that?
Would love to meet up at Warhammer World at some games and at some point. Only get a chance we would get due to me being in Oxfordshire. Yeah, it would be great, Daz. I'm thinking about coming down either late July or early August. I need to check with Phil because hopefully Phil and Tony will be getting a game. I'm going to be playing James, and if Lucy comes, obviously, well, depending on how you're feeling at the time, she might be up for a game or two, depending who's about. Vanda says, add in Hellstriders for EOS. Hellstriders are up here. They need painting. She's got them. Don't worry. Phil won't like them one bit. Yes, more EOS battle reports. Yeah, I don't know if you realise, but a lot of the time when I film games, they don't actually appear on the channel for about 4 weeks sometimes, depending on how many games I've got filmed, what my personal schedule's like, and what I've got going on. Plus, if I get wind that something is coming out, it's not worth me filming it because by the time I did get it up on the channel, the chances are that whatever was coming would be released shortly after. It was like with the Tau and Admech campaign. As soon as we got wind in January, the Tau Codex was one of the next ones.
We needed to hurry and get the.
I had to hurry and get the campaign finished. Yeah, so me and Lucy, bless her, she played. I think it was the second game. We ended up playing over 3 separate occasions, didn't we?
Yeah, because like if you ever watch the channel with me, you might see 9 times out of 10 I've got me nails painted. I change them nearly every other day, and if you watch a game, you might just notice a change. It's because I have got issues and I can't do a full game sometimes. Anyway, I'm so excited for the new chamber. 6 months ago, Vandus did say the Stormcast Wizards are coming because it's such a big no-no for us. I never dared dream, but now,
The models are fantastic. Of
Oh,
course,
they are.
we saw them at Warhammer Fest. We've seen the pictures.
mhm.
There was the crossbow guys. There was the mages with hammers.
Yeah,
There's the guy on top of the Griff Charger.
I don't think we've seen anything else about him yet, have we?
Nope. But he's supposed to be in the starter set. We've seen the bolt thrower, which
That,
Ordinatus will finally come in handy for.
yeah, we obviously knew we were going to get some form of artillery because of Ordinatus. But I didn't expect. I'm just biased because you know Sigmar, Stormcast. But yeah, it looks amazing. You know, I'm saying all this. I don't care if they're the crappiest rules in the world. Knowing me, I love them because that's what I usually do.
That's why she picked Slaanesh, because she loves the Slaanesh models. But let's face it, other than Zara, they're not competitive. Because Zara destroyed my Harlequins. And I had a discussion with Tom. Had I had long-range multiple damage weapons rather than having to be within 6 inches to do anything, I possibly could have done a little bit more to her.
But you didn't.
Nope.
Nope. Anyway, yeah, I think I am just biased about Stormcast, but they are. No, actually, ask anyone who doesn't even like AOS. The models are getting fabulous and they're getting better.
Kevin says, waiting for the new 2-player box set, using that to get my kids in. Any news on when it's coming out? We know it's June. We know Imperial Knights are pre-order this coming weekend, which means they are out next weekend, which is, what's the date next week? Like the 3rd or 4th of June?
Yes, because it's the dog walk.
Yep, so pre-order Saturday, which means Imperial Knight stuff is out on the 9th.
So I think it's going to be the weekend after.
I think either that week or this coming weekend, it's going to go on 2-week pre-order.
I mean, like, yeah, we haven't had much AOS on the channel because, not just that, it's because there's been so much 40k.
I've really struggled to keep up with it.
And I'm so glad this next few months is going to just be Sigmar.
Yeah.
Because it is when you wait for something new and it's like not comes and you do lose love.
Yeah, absolutely. For me, obviously, the last 6 codexes I've got armies for, so I've tried to do kind of a themed day surrounding the each of the armies. With the Harlequins, it was a little bit harder. I was really pushed for time because of a lot of personal stuff that was going on. You'll notice I missed a week or two of the League of Artisans. I just simply didn't have time. So I couldn't get a magnetization tutorial out for the Harlequins. And the Knights, strangely enough, I've got all the videos filmed already for the Knights. When I painted the armature, I actually did a magnetization, a tutorial, and a basing tutorial, all for the Knights. So that'll literally just be a case of, and because of Knights, I can probably get 2 battle reports filmed in one night. Night with a K, get it? So Ian's at the Heat 3, 9th and 10th of June at Warhammer World. Hopefully they'll release something then. They might give a sneak peek then, possibly announce it that day for 2-week pre-order. I imagine it will be a 2-week pre-order. Because
I think you're going to get the first week's going to be the main rules and starts collecting. And then the next week it's going to be like the individual, start the individual stuff. Yeah.
For Stormcast though, there's a female character mage, a male character looking mage. There's the bear riders. They look like bears. But remember ages ago though, me, you, and Vandus were sat looking at the picture and we said this looks like a liberator riding something like a Dracoth, but it's not a Dracoth. Heard the Warglaive will get a big drop in the Knights Codex. Yeah, apparently you get 2 armatures for 45 quid. So obviously if you order from the discount store, Just to add as well, Battle Bunker does do 20% off on pre-orders. So if you pre-order, you get 20% off, which is very handy considering the new gigantic knight, Lucy, is supposed to be £100.
No, is that the one you're not getting?
Well, even with Justin's 20% off, I now only have to pay £78 because James gave me £2.
Okay.
So thank you very much, James. Points-wise, I mean, yeah, they're supposed to be dropping quite a bit to under 200 points, and I'll definitely take one of them. London GT, I went and enjoyed myself. Invitational final cheating or honest mistake? I saw some of the videos about the final. Did you see them or not?
No, but I heard.
It was the guy that was doing it was Alex, who was the guy. You remember at the LVO where he pulled him for doing something to the other guy?
Yeah.
It was Tony and Alex had pulled him for pulling the guy previous on the other thing. Apparently he was wandering around the table, changed the dice for remaining wounds.
The guy who was pulled or the guy who pulled?
The guy who pulled Tony, I think, correct us if I'm wrong, competitive players if you're watching, but he was the one that then was going around the table on the final, turning wound counters back.
Right.
And then he was with the water cup and he was backwards and forwards like that, and he was nudging models apparently. Yeah, come on, boys, let's help Harry get one of them snazzy knights. Well, thank you very much for that, James. If you would like to help me get one of them new snazzy knights, you can support us on Patreon for as little as $1 a month. There's $3 and $6. And James is a Patreon, and you get early access to all the battle reports and videos. So Battle Reports currently is an 8,500 point apocalypse game between all four gods of chaos, which technically was Lucy's Slanesh debut.
Yeah, without me there.
Yeah, Lucy wasn't well enough to come to Warhammer World on that day, so it was me and Phil versus Tony. That's already up. And the game versus Magnus is already up as well. Stu from Battleforge Brothers came around, used his Thousand Suns. I won't spoil it, but the way Magnus died was hilarious. Really hilarious. Yeah. It was such a fun game. We used the warp table as well, where if you roll any double, your peril, and your opponent can take over your model and stuff, which was hilarious. Added a wound counter to a model that was unwounded, measured a range but was caught being 2 inches out. Haven't seen the water cup moment. Tim, I think that was at around, I think it was 2150 or something, because that's the only bit that I saw. But yeah, I don't understand it. In relation to the GTA, I don't. Did I post the pictures of me terrain publicly?
Yes.
No, I just put them in the group, didn't I?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do it all.
No, well, in the video.
Oh yeah.
They're going to be in this week's League of Artisans, but I basically spent 5 hours yesterday sorting all my terrain out, and I took photos of it. And when I render League of Artisans after this video today, you can see how much terrain I've actually got, and I would offer my terrain to the League of Artisans. I'll rephrase that. I will offer my terrain to the London GT if it means that they don't have to use unpainted styrofoam. Yeah.
Anyway, back to new rules.
Yes. Hi, Harry and Lucy. How's it been going? Toxic 1989.
Hello.
Very well, thank you. We are now about to go and watch some Sigmar. And by the miraculous of technology, I'm going to do this. There we go. So, what we know so far. Bearing in mind, guys, I can't see what you're saying, so I might have to jump back on comments. What we know so far about Age of Sigmar. So, availability of rules. Core rules and unit war scrolls are still available to download for free, which is good.
Yeah.
The rules are going to be larger than 4 pages, but they're going to be integrating the FAQs into that. So all of the FAQs. Good. Yep, it's very good that they're doing that. It's kind of like what Heresy did with their rule book. It was like a 7.2 rule book, really.
Yeah.
All existing battle tomes will work. The last 4 battle tomes have been drafted with a consistent set of guidelines based on the future direction of the game. So that's Maggotkin, Legions of Nagash, Ideneth, and Daughters.
Yeah.
Existing armies are staying. If you have an army in Age of Sigmar now, you can play it in 2nd edition. Every unit will be in the new game. That's good for my ogres. The new starter set will be Stormcast versus Nighthaunt. Command abilities and points. Every hero can use their command ability, not just the general now.
I like that.
3 new command abilities for use by every army. So I think one of them is where any hero can use an Inspiring Presence rather than just your general.
That is really good. And the fact that they can all use their own. I know it's going to cost you points or something, whatever. But one of my biggest struggles when I'm making my list is like, which one should I use?
And I had a discussion with Liam regarding this actually. He says that Sigmar's bored him a bit at the minute because at the minute you just get cookie cutter armies, which you do. No disrespect to Lucy, right? I would absolutely do the same. When have you seen him not run Celestin on foot as a general?
Yeah.
There's no reason not to. He has got the best, him or Celestin on Dracoth. And even then, you've run, what's it called? Consummate Commander to be able to use both of them. And there's no reason not to. How many times do you wish you could use Gabriel Schuerhardt to get that extra 3-inch run and charge? But you can't because you want the +1 to hit.
Exactly. Why wouldn't you want the +1 to hit? I mean, it's...
On Retributors, it's brilliant because you're doing 2 mortal wounds on a 5.
I know it's like very powerful, but for the points you're paying for them Retributors, you want to get them. You want them. They're the core of your army, basically, so...
But it brings in a lot of tactical points because you gain 1 command point per turn, and you'll get an additional point at the beginning of your game per War Scroll battalion. So not only do you get the extra relic, you also get an extra command point to start with. Now that's very handy, but you've then got to think, if you've got off this massive combo, right, that you want to pull off, but you need, or to make it better, you need 2 or 3 command points. Do you burn them on turn 1? Or do you wait till turn 2 and go, bang, there's 3 command points, I'm doing all that?
Yeah.
Lucy, as an example, because we've talked about Retributors a lot.
Yes.
Retributors are incredibly buffable. So, Lucy used to ally in Branch Witch for Mystic Shield.
Yeah.
Castellan's ability gives them +1 to the save.
And healing on a 6.
Healing on a 6 becomes healing on a 5 because of Mystic Shield. She would then give them +1 to wound from a Battle Mage.
Yep.
Give them +1 to hit from Celestin, and then a further +1 if there was deadly terrain nearby.
And +1 to save if, again, Celestin was nearby for Staunch Defender.
Yep. In addition to all of that, Blessed Weapons. Because if you've got +2 to hit, you generate an extra attacks on 4s, doing 2 mortal wounds on 4s, hitting on 2s. You're then wounding on 2s at -1 for 2 damage. And then if someone attacks you back, you've got a 2-up save, healing on a 5.
Yeah.
A unit of 10 Retributors is not going anywhere. When you played Graham last time with your Stormcast,
he was pretty confident because he's got his debuffs, and I was like, yeah, like, okay. There's a 10-man unit with 4
maces.
Yeah, that's instant D3 mortal wounds.
So she was like 4d3 mortal wounds. He was like, well, you have to roll the hit, and Lucy was like, nope. Apparently that is changing though.
It is, yes. That's one thing. I mean, yeah, I saw it coming, but yeah, you win some, you lose some.
Luckily, we have plenty of hammerheads, so if you need to swap them. But look, you've got 30 paladins.
Yeah, I've got 10 of each.
Which is a lot. You gain 1 command point for every 50 points of your army not spent on units. So if you're under points by 50, you get an extra command point.
Oh, does that count on scenery?
What do you mean?
If you buy a Vortex, it's 100 points. It's not on a unit, so...
You specify that when you're building your army.
You gain a command point for every 50 points on your army not spent on a unit. So is a Bearwind a unit?
Yes, because you do it as a selection for your army. Right. Certain allegiance abilities will give you extra command points.
That will be good. Because I'm really liking some of the new Allied battle what they're called? Battalions coming.
Yeah. So turn priorities change slightly. If the priority roll is a draw between players, then the player who went first in the previous battle round counts as winning the roll.
That is so situation, like that's going to happen maybe once every 10 games.
Well, apparently it's a 16% less chance of getting a double turn.
Still though, that's the word. That was my biggest thing with Sigmar. Double turn kills you.
Mm-hmm.
So I think either just get rid of it or make it like
you go, I go.
Yeah.
Perfect example is if you've watched the battle report up about 2 weeks ago between me and Bryn. He got a double turn against me Beast Claw Raiders, fighting in the hero phase as well. So essentially, he got 3 rounds of combat against me, which crippled us, and I was very lucky to bring out a draw.
Yeah.
But
I think give the new rules a month or two, and it'll be FAQ. It'll change again.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be loads of change, but
I think if there is one, it's going to be that one because it's so 16% chance is not enough to please people. I don't think.
There was a huge uproar about it last year, though, so maybe we'll see what they do. Magic, new spell laws for each of the mortal realms that can be accessed by all races. That's good, which means it's not just Mystic Shield and Arcane Bolt.
I know, but they've nerfed Mystic Shield.
They have, which we'll get to in a few minutes. Unbinding range is now 30 inches, though.
That's amazing. I love that. That's one of my favourites. Like we've already said, you go first turn, your opponent goes first turn with a head, like Nagash, for example. The amount of spells he can do, the amount of buffs he can give to his army, and you're just sitting there, I'm gonna die.
Yep.
I'm gonna die.
The defaults, Mystic Shield and Arcane Bolt are now weaker to encourage more use of unique spells. Kind of agree, because a lot of for example, the Sylvanet spells are very good. Granted, you haven't got something for Mystic Shield to replace it with, but you never know. So Mystic Shield, we'll probably see it further down. And we've got Malign Sorcery, which is endless spells, which is the actual model for the spell.
They look phenomenal. Don't care what anyone says about Sigmar. If you don't like them, you're nuts.
Yep, so we'll just switch back to the live stream, just see what the comments are up to. Where are we at? With both cams. There we go, because I didn't want to confuse you guys with the Infinity Effect.
You've gone too far. Timothy Banks.
Toxic. Was my first tournament. I was on the bottom tables and played on the unpainted. Wasn't too bothered. Escalators, trays of minis was a bit scary though. I bet. Hopefully punch drops for Beast Claw Raiders. Hopefully, because 460 for a Stonehorn, especially after they nerfed it in the FAQ, was very expensive. Harry, mind you, it's a new Stormcast book coming. Command traits won't be the same. Why? They've only had that book like 15 months.
Because the overall good god is the whole game system.
Do you remember the little trailer video where it's like, but sir, you can't just open a new chamber whenever you need something new. The hell I can't!
Yeah, that's why Stormcast so good, because they're the poster boys for AOS, and I'm going to have to run to the toilet.
So Vanda's obviously mentioned there about the change to Mystic Shield, which we'll get to further down. It will force people to use special spells. It's nice, small nerf to Nagash, but needed. I bloody hate Stormcast.
Who?
Ian.
Oh.
Just wait to show them what they have to bang your army with. You will hate them even more. Go Sigmarines, use Hammer of Fate.
That's what all mines actually. I don't use the chambers, but all mines are hammers.
Hammers of Sigmar, yeah. The strange thing is, though, the Hammers of Sigmar, you needed reinforcement points, and then it was if you rolled a 6 to get the unit back. Where does it say that the Star Soul Mace doesn't auto hit? I don't know. It's just auto. It's just rumored at the minute. Rick, Rick, hello, how you doing? 2 images looks cool though, mate. Well done. No worries, thanks very much. Lucy is here, but she's just nipped to the loo. But yeah, you can see what I'm painting whilst seeing my beautiful face. So thank you very much for that, Rick. Of course, very much obliged and appreciated. So we are talking just AOS for the minute. We did briefly cover Knights, but we're sticking to AOS as per the good lady's request. So yes, I'm looking forward to getting my Daughters of Cain on the table. I've been trying to muscle through some of them today, and if I'm honest, I'm really struggling with painting them. The endless spells can be controlled by both players. Yeah, we'll get back to that when Lucy comes back, just so we can obviously scroll down, because if I'm honest, I haven't read a whole lot of what's gone on in it. I've just been seeing bits and pieces. So I don't know everything that's gone on, or what's going on. The Purple Sun. Yeah, I've seen the Purple Sun. If they nerf Star Soul Maces, I will seriously consider selling my Stormcast. I wouldn't. Stormcast are still very good. Roll a d6 for every model within range on a 6. The model is slain. Wow. Does everyone get access to all them endless spells then, Vandis? Because I've seen pictures, like the Orc Shaman next to one. I've seen Morathai next to like the Lightning Bolt one, and stuff like that. Will they ever bring back human races like Bretonnians? Bretonnians aren't coming back, James, unfortunately. It was something to do with the licensing, same as the Tomb Kings. I don't know the exact reason, but we're not going to see them. You'll see normal dwarves and stuff. I've got ogres. Ogres are good. Ogres are fun. They like food. Yes, and can be controlled by both players to encourage players not to gain double turn. Might risk happening bad stuff to double turn players. Ah, fair enough. Lucy, apparently the endless spells can be controlled by both players, which means if you take the double turn, bad stuff can happen.
Wow.
I don't know exactly what, that's just what Vandus has said. They need to make new ones then. Well, I think they will get round to it eventually, but we'll have to see how much they end up releasing. But I think there's going to be quite a lot especially over the coming. I would say definitely the next year. I think we're going to see a lot of amended races. By amended, I mean like, for example, New Elves is Ideneth and yeah. I think we will see. I think we'll see Malarian come back, who is basically it was Malarian, Tyrion and Teclis, and Morathai that basically started siphoning all of the souls off from Slaanesh. Of course, I think Slaanesh is getting an update. There's no way that she is not, right? First of all, the amount that she's mentioned in the Daughters of Cain and the Ideneth Deacon book. Second to that, the new artwork that they put up for Slaanesh. And if you've seen the picture on the front of the limited edition Imperial Knights Codex, the new one is crushing a keeper under his foot. And we've also seen the rumour mill picture of the Slaanesh Claw.
Yep.
So hopefully.
Fingers crossed. Anyway, back to the rules.
Yes, let us switch back. Desk, there we go. Malign sword, yeah, summoning. Summoning no longer costs reinforcement points and is instead based on earning faction-specific resources during the game that can be used on summoning units. So you know my blood type points when I play
Yes.
Bloodbound. When I get the 8, I can summon a Bloodthirster.
Yeah.
But I can't because I haven't got 360 points.
Yep.
Now I can.
Yeah. When this one first came out, it didn't have the second part. It was just you don't need reinforcement points.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like they cannot do that because it's not self-needed. I don't need to explain, but adding the second part, I think that's going to become very interesting.
Yeah, definitely. Shooting we touched on earlier, but there's no shooting out of combat now. But you can shoot into combat to help get your guys out, of course. Look out, sir. Heroes are -1 to hit from missile weapons if they're within 3 inches. Now, the update here says 3 inches of one of their units. I'm sure I read somewhere that the unit have at least 5 models in it.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Which might encourage people. General's Handbook 17 encouraged spam hordes. I mean, look at me. I tripled up on bloodletters, didn't I?
Oh, God, yes.
Um,
Despite me throwing them in bins and out windows.
She has actually put bloodletters in bins, by the way. New summoning mechanics. More factions will have the ability to summon without paying reinforcement points. And it says here Slanesh and Magkin articles, because there was articles on both of them. I don't know what they are specifically, because like I said at the beginning, the articles are so long and so specific focused, I can't keep track of it and read the whole lot for the sake of 1 or 2 sentences. New items and artifacts for all armies. Every army can now select from a set of common realm-specific artifacts.
That's going to be fun.
There are 49 artifacts available, 7 for each of the 7 realms. Now, this is something that we've never played in Sigmar, but there is rules for each of the realms.
Right.
So, for example, the Fire Realm, the Magma Dragon that Bryn has plays a lot better. So it is there. It's just something that we've never done. What we've got, each point is covered in details below on the dedicated page. So there's Malign Sorcery, there's the Sacrosanct Chamber and the Night Haunt articles there. I won't go too much into detail on it, but I will very quickly have a look at the Malign Sorcery one. So Banishment is one of the spells on there.
I don't get this, for the simple fact that it works for your army and it's called Banishment. So change its name.
It's an attacking spell, that's why.
I know,
you
but
banish the enemy.
You don't. You move your army.
No, you don't. Nope. Banishment has a casting value of 8. If successfully cast, pick an enemy unit within 12 of the caster that is visible to them. Remove that unit from the battlefield and set it up again on the battlefield more than 9 inches away from any models from the caster's army and more than 24 inches away from the caster. So, see my Stonehorn that's getting incredibly close to your wizard, Lucy, that's about to charge him and do D6 mortal wounds.
Yep. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Stonehorn, back across the end of the battlefield.
Funny enough, when I first got me Sylvanas and I was looking at spells, I asked you specifically if there was a spell that does something like that, didn't I?
Yeah, because you were looking at like tree song and stuff where you move the trees, weren't you? Which technically you haven't managed to pull off, because if an enemy unit is on the trees, you can like go bye-bye.
Yeah, that's true.
There's going to be a magic card set as well, just to keep track of what goes on. And on a final note, we learned about predatory spells or endless spells. There's a utility one that gives cover, allows you to heal units. The crystal wall in the picture below, so this one here.
Ooh.
So that basically, I presume, gives you the benefit of cover. This one here, the big giant mouth. And of course, there is the purple sun that we've also seen as well. Ravnak's gnashing jaws and burning head. That's what that one is. And they roam around the battlefield. Be careful, your opponent might take control of your predatory endless spells and send it back at you. Endless spells are a result of Nagash's work. They cast like normal spells but stay on the tabletop. If the spell is not unbound, the endless spell can be unbound in later turns if a wizard gives up its usual spell in order to try and remove the endless spell. So you can basically banish the spell as one of your normal spells. Oh, here we go. This is what Vandus will say. Endless spells interact with the battle round priority. Endless spells are moved at the start of each battle round after determining who gets the first turn, with players taking it in turns to pick a spell to move, starting with the player that has the second turn that round.
Right.
So if you go on second, as a result, for example, of getting a double turn, you can then go, right, you might have a double turn, but I'm going to send that purple sun straight back into your deployment zone. So very, very, very handy. The Balewind Vortex has been completely overhauled.
What?
That's what it says.
Oh. All that effort you put into making me one.
You still got it though.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
So here we go. Endless spell. Purple Sun of Shaiish, right? It's casting value 8.
Right.
Set it up within 6, wholly within 6 of the caster. It can move up to 9 inches and can fly. When this model is set up, the player who set it up can immediately make a move with it. So you set it up within 6, then move it 9. After this model is moved, each unit that has any models it passed across, and each other unit that is within an inch of it at the end of its movement is subject to the Purple Sun's baleful energies. For each unit subjected to the baleful energies, roll a number of dice equal to the number of models in the unit. On a 6+1 model in that unit is slain.
Oh, now that is better than
You keep that away from my Mornfangs.
That is so much better than just one mortal wound. I wasn't even where base claws did come in mind, but imagine that on a unit of 30 bloodletters.
Well, that's fine because a 6-up is basically doing a mortal wound. The issue becomes with that is multiple wound models. Oh look, I passed over your 3 Kurnoth Hunters and I just rolled a double 6. Buy 2 Kurnoth Hunters. That's horrible.
Yeah, that is. But yay, it's awesome.
In addition, Lucy, subtract 1 from the bravery characteristic of all units whilst they're within 6 inches of this model. More battle shock.
Yeah.
And if your battle is taking place in the realm of death, this model can move 12 instead of 9.
Okay. Little bit.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Pull to the grave. After this model is moved, each unit that has any models it passed across suffers D3 mortal wounds. In addition, subtract 1 from the bravery characteristic of each unit that has models it passed across until the end of the turn. Is that? No. Oh, that's Suffocating Gravetide. That looks like a wave of skulls. Umbral Spell Portal. Casting value of 5. Set the portal up wholly within 12 of the caster, and then set up a second spell portal wholly within 18 of the first. If a wizard successfully casts a spell whilst they're within an inch of a spell portal, the range and visibility of the spell can be measured from the other portal.
Oh, so you're pretty. If you depend on where you place that, you'd be covered from over half the table.
3/4.
Yeah.
If a predatory endless spell finishes a move within 6 inches of the spell portal, remove it from the battlefield and set it up next to the other portal. Oh my god! This is like a whole new game. If your battle is taking place in the realm of shadow, the second spell portal can be placed anywhere on the battlefield. Wow. Then there's Ravening Hunger, which is this one. The Jaws.
Nom, 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 nom.
I'm not going to go through all of these, but there's loads there. You can add 2 inch to the move and charge rolls for the mechanisms of time. This must be the gravesite one, Lucy, the one that we just mentioned there.
Right.
Look at that, that's awesome.
Wow.
And the thing is, right, you could easily make these. Like,
Yeah.
you don't even have to buy the GW. In fact, you know what? I feel a tutorial video coming on, Lucy. I do. Because this is a ball with a couple of skulls on and some flames.
Yeah.
That's what that is, right? This, go and buy a dinosaur. Stick some flames on the back. Done. Burning head. Look at this one. And there's the new Stormcast model.
Does that remind you of anything?
What? Oh, Ghost Rider. We've got this one here from Morathai. So she's casting 2 lightning bolts.
That's a phenomenal. I love that. I love the black and white.
Yin and yang, yeah, very cool. That would be really easy to do actually with wire and 2 balls. And there's the purple sun. That's big.
Yeah.
That's bigger than a tree lord big. Right, let's jump back to the chat for a little bit and see what you guys have been up to. As you can see, I've done no other work. Right, 2 seconds. Let me jump back on the chat. On a 6th the model slain. Bye bye Morathai. Oh crap! Yes. Oh no! That's 3 ways she can now die.
Wait, you were saying how overpowered she was by able to survive.
Well, we knew there was 2 ways to kill her anyway, which was Nagash and Scarbrand. Will they ever? Oh, Jim's already said that. It means you can protect yourself versus double turns. I'm waiting on the new black coach, which I'm hoping will come soon. Yeah, we saw the model for that at Warhammer Fest. It's not so much impunity to gain a double turn, double benefit twice. Now players might risk the bad stuff happens to their armies because of the spells. Absolutely. I hope you like arching. Or I hope you like the Archon. Sorry again for being... Oh, honestly, right, that's who it is. I have it right here. It is in a box, which, when did it turn up? Tuesday? But I didn't see Lucy during the week. So, this is from Toxic. Thank you very, very much for the gift. I haven't been able to get it done, a video done yet, but it's from Tony. So, thank you very much, Tony. And of course, Lucy got some more metallic purple for her Stormcast because I ran out of the one. I'm going to close that. Metal Madness, we've got Will, we've got Underdog Pin, we've got Bazaar. I'm kind of glad I re-rolled Death. I can't go into this. Didn't you get these out of here the other day?
It's just solitaire.
So I've actually got about, I think I counted up 15 of the old metal witches.
Yeah.
And I said Lucy loves witches for 40k. So I said if she wants to paint them, she can, and she can use them as her witches basically. But yeah, these. Oh, here we go. So there we go. The old Archon, which I've actually scoured eBay for quite a few times. So Lucy, this will be your now Archon.
Thank you.
We've also got, interestingly enough, a Cabalite Warrior with the old Shredder. So that'll be getting painted up. I actually have another one of these, but I don't have the arm for it. So thank you very much for that. We've got another one there stood up with another Shredder. So that extra Cabalite Warriors, always welcome. Oh, there's the Darklands arm actually. That'll go really, really handy on the other one that I've actually got. So thank you very much for sending them over. Oh, there's a few Shredders.
You'll be even more OP, Bandus. Wait, do you know where you currently are?
Look at that. That's a blaster off the old Reaver jet bike. I've actually got 4 old Reaver jet bikes as well. And Lucy likes these because she's got the Finecast ones, but she hasn't painted them up yet.
What?
To go on the bottom of your Slanesh models.
Oh, yeah.
So you know the naked cat lady that you were going to stick on the bottom of your keeper? Well, this one's in metal because these would have been before Fieldcast came out. And of course, the 2 majors will be going on the base of the sorcerers.
Yes.
So thank you very, very much for these. Greatly appreciate it. We've got a little skeleton guy there. We've got the little mannequin. We've got the little Imperial Knight guy. There's one that Lucy's actually got. It's not here. But it's like a little knight carrying a sword over his shoulder. And she actually stuck that on the Lord of Slanesh because it looks almost like the same thing.
Yeah, I painted it the same.
Yep. So thank you very much for them. Greatly appreciated. And they will be going. I'm going to put them on my table actually because I need to do a video.
Bandus is saying he's going to be more OP'd on the new rules. I've got a confession. Don't actually think I've ever played Vandus. Have I?
He's in Portugal, so I would hope not.
The model.
Oh! No.
And he's currently
She loves the shield too much.
I do, and my model of Vandus is currently in a bath of Dettol. We had a bath of it before the ISO whatever it's called came, so we just put Vandus in there. Finish him off.
Yep. James says cool models. Yes, very cool models indeed. Can you use the same command ability, say Archon, to give an extra 6-inch range twice? So I could have Hand of Dust at range 15. I have no idea, Kevin. I don't think anyone's asked that yet. I really have no idea. We'll have to wait and see for that. I'm going to hit your head, Harry. Why?
I think because of what you said.
What did I say?
He's in Portugal.
He is. Soon you'll get a hammer with the potential to deliver 6 damage apiece. I want to see where that shield gonna be. Right, this is what I don't get. Right,
yeah.
Obviously, Mystic Shield on Stormcast is very good because most of them have reroll 1s anyway. Why is Mystic Shield now going to help Stormcast?
It's only Liberators have it, and a couple of the characters.
And the Dracoths.
That's only if you equip them, though.
No, they all have shields.
They do, yes. Yeah, I'm very disappointed because it isn't a really good. And despite what people think, Stormcast haven't got amazing saves. Most of it's 4+.
What save do you Demonites have?
6.
5.
5.
And most stuff has at least Ren -1.
But no, I'm just all the Stormcast haters. Just putting it out there that we're not all powerful. Anyway.
It'll help with good armored ones, for example, Ret Reviewers. Yeah, fair enough. It'll help with ethereal models as well.
What's that?
Death. Ghosts. Right, let us switch back to the desk. So, I'm not good. Oh, hang on. Let's have a look at the Sacrosanct Chamber, because it's for Lucy. In fact, do you know what? With that. Desk cam. Desktop and TV cam. There we go, and you can see us and Lucy's reactions as we go. There's your Bear Rider.
That does look awesome. Hang on, go back up. Does he have a spell in his hand?
It's a crystal.
Spell crystal.
We don't know what exactly what it is yet. It's a vial of something. Oh, let's watch the trailer.
Sigmar, my liege, you can't solve all of your problems by opening new chambers. The hell I can't!
And you didn't even get to see the crossbow guys or the guys on foot. We've always obviously seen the girl casting the spell earlier as well.
Yeah.
So we've got the Lord Arcanum, hero on Aquila. I think Aquila's wrong. It's supposed to be Palador, not Palador. Griffcharger. The Knight Incanter is the female foot mage, which you've seen the rules for. You had a look at them before. Evocators are warrior mages, so it's basically what you saw on them bear things, but on foot. Sequitors are magic liberators.
Is there many other little normal units that are mages?
What, in Sigmar? Oh, for Stormcast, you mean?
No, for anything. Because liberators aren't heroes, but they're...
There's lots in 40k, like all the Grey Knights are classed as Psychers.
Sigmar.
Castigators, which is the heavy grenade launching crossbows, which is the ones that we've seen. and the Celestar Ballista, which is the bolt thrower. So there we go.
That actually looks like a bit.
It's a nicer version of Aquila because
Yeah.
he's got
Griffon looks
drapes.
a lot better.
He's got drapes.
Mm-hmm.
The Knight Incanter, see, she's got that little
Yeah.
vial. And there she is in the other colour scheme. There's a rules which we won't go over. But they're evocators, warrior mages combining the skills of paladins and mages. So these are like your retributor types.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks as though they're going to come in threes. Secretors, which are your liberators. So there's your grand mace and then your two small maces.
They look phenomenal.
They look awesome, them, like, definitely. So there, that must be like the unit of 10.
Yeah.
So you get two giant ones.
8.
Oh, yeah.
Unless you can't. I don't know.
Ah, someone's been playing with Photoshop. That one and that one's the same.
Mm.
These two are the same, just slightly changed. This one is the same as this one.
Mm.
And that one's the same again. It's just that's got the prime upgrade parts on it.
It's not different.
It's not. Oh, yeah, the robe's the other way.
Mm-hmm.
Castigators are these guys.
They look grenade launchers. What the hell?
They look cool. Hang on. I'm sure I've seen boob plates somewhere. Maybe not.
No, you did actually.
So there, you must get 5 of them in a box. So I'm guessing these. Nah, they're different, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're going to be in the different boxes. And then we've got the bolt thrower. Which, interestingly enough, right, if you look at the side of the long strike crossbows, it's basically 4 of them put together.
Even the edges of the thing, that's a Stormcast Judicator.
Yep, the bows look exactly the same, and then this is like the insignia on the front of the Dracoths.
Yep.
So I dare say you could possibly kit bash one. So pretty cool. And then of course we've got these guys, additional heroes. So there's this mage on this beast. There we go.
And beast looks awesome.
And then this was the basically the 8-inch high one. People think this is a new Lord Ordinatus model, possibly.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the same thing on his back. He still looks like Sir Davos.
And he's got a hammer. Big hammer.
Yeah. Don't know who this is. Think this might be the male version of the mage that we saw up top. And there's another one. Yeah, that's definitely not even the same plate. There's another female. Looks like to be a mage because of what's coming out of her hand.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course the heavy cavalry unit. And this is believed to be a new Shadespire warband. Interestingly enough, the Shadespire models are now available separately. After I've just bought Lucy the Fast Riders, and I bought the game literally for the models, and now they're available separately.
Well, I'll not say anything about that.
Yeah, we haven't played Shadespire.
I told him well before we got it, I don't want it, I won't be playing it, but he went and got it.
Yeah, because the models are awesome.
Yeah, I love him for that.
Secret has got extras versus death and demons. They won't like them much. James has got to go. No worries, man. See you later. Is that the bottom of the chat? Yeah, it is. Right, what is next? Nighthorn. We're not really interested in that, are we?
Yeah, just a quick flip.
Bryn will be. In fact, yeah, because the Black Coach might be there, which is a really, really old. It was quite a famous model like years ago. So let's have a quick look at the trailer for this.
Oh, how you have wounded us, precious sons and daughters of the Storm God. And until now, we have allowed it. We have permitted this most grievous transgression. But how? Pray tell, have you repaid our mercy? With contrition? With gratitude? Hearken, all of you, to the tolling of funeral bells. Heed the wailing of the mournful dead. The realm of Shaiish teems with the spirits of the freshly slain. Scions of Sigmar, forged in thunder! You fight for a thief, a usurper. You lead stolen lives ripped from the rightful clutches of the god of the dead. Your souls are ours. By scythe or by shrieking spell, by blade or by banshee's cry, the dead will have what we are owed.
She's very passionate.
Yep, and it's the same girl that voices nearly every other female. She voiced Morothai, she voiced the House Escher gang member. She even voiced Yvraine last year when Ynnari came out. So, yeah, very nice Black Coach model, of course. I can't wait for the Nighthorn. Yeah, I know a lot of people are totally excited about it. Not for us. We're not really into death. Bryn's getting it, though. Bryn loves his Nighthorn. Is that stuck?
Mm-hmm.
Use one of the old airbrush needles. So yeah, really, really cool stuff. Turn priority, basically, this is the example of if you roll a tie, basically the player who went first in the previous round gets to choose. But as we've seen earlier, persistent spells are going to interact with them. We've covered command points already. But there, for example, if you're fighting a battle horse game, instead of match play, you get, and you only come in at 1895 points on units, then you will receive an extra 2 command points. Now, you know what's interesting? 1895. When have you ever built an army that ends in a 5?
No.
Never ever. It's always been in 10s. So I'm wondering if they're going to change a lot of the points now to, B5s.
Yeah. That would be.
Yeah. Here we go. Here's the 3 standard command abilities. So Inspiring Presence lasts for a single battle shock phase, not turn.
Ooh.
So basically, if you're on the receiving end of a double turn, it won't last your second turn.
Ouch.
Yep. At the double, run rolls treated as 6 for the unit, so you can just auto run 6 inches. So you know your retributors that are moving an extra 3 because of Gabriel Schuerhart, and then running and charging because of Heraldar.
Yeah.
Yeah, suddenly they're just running 9 inches.
I'm not smuggle.
Forward to victory, reroll charge rolls for units in range.
That's the thing. I'm glad they put that last part in because it's a rule not many people realise. You've got to be in a certain range, within range to attempt. You can't just do it in the hopes of making the long charge.
Yeah, it's the same with 40k. You have to be within 12 to declare. Well, it's different with Sigmar because you roll your charge distance then choose.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why I said that. So.
But with 40k, you have to be within 12 to declare. So as much as you get, essentially the extra inch on the charge with 40k, you still can't declare. If they're 12 and a half away and you roll a 12, you can't technically charge them because they're not within 12 to be able to declare. Interesting fact as well, I actually discussed this with Mark Crumbleholm, quite a big tournament player, at No Retreat last year, because the Eversaw Assassin charges 3d6, and he went to go and charge it. I went, you can't. He's like, why? I was like, you have to be within 12 to declare. And we looked it up, and he was like, yeah, stand corrected. So yeah, it's one to be aware of. But not just that, the fact that in Sigmar, you have to be 3 inches away.
Yeah.
A double 1 will fill your charge.
Yep.
In 40k, you can get to an inch away, which means you automatically make it in.
Mm-hmm.
So, interesting little tidbit there. Increased freedom as your choice of general will no longer affect your army build. From narrative perspective, this is good. Why wouldn't Morathai or Alariel be the general of any force that they're in?
Because they haven't got good general abilities. I
Yep.
prefer the trade or the ancient. I love both reroll and me ones.
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. And whilst Morathai's is really good, the problem is she can't take a command ability, a command trait rather. And some of the command traits in the Daughters of Cain are just way too good to pass up. So there's no reason not to. So here's an example of a couple of the faction-specific ones. So excess violence for Slaanesh. Used once, this ability is awesome. Used 2 or even 3 times, it's brutal. I don't know what that one does though. And it doesn't.
Is that Stormcast one?
No, that was the thing we won. But basically, if you look at each of these faction focuses, it will be in there as to what each one does do. But essentially, it's a specific faction based one as well.
Yeah.
So the new command points are also accompanied by new custom dice from Games Workshop. There we go. Don't think we'll pick them up because I've got the 40k ones and I literally just use them as counters. So whilst they are command and status dice, there is one there that says, look, you've ran, or there's one that says I'm in cover. But a lot of the, what do you call it, have counters anyway, don't they?
We've got loads and we keep forgetting about them.
Well, you've got 2. Lucy bought me the Daughters of Cain ones. Interestingly enough as well, they're actually releasing it for Knights, Lucy.
Yeah, they are.
The data sheet cards, which is interesting. And again, me and Liam were having this discussion earlier when we were talking about Sigmar, and he was like, well, what's the point? Surely they're just money grabbing. And I was like, he said, why would people buy the codex and just buy the cards? Because the cards don't have the artifacts, the spells, the battalions, the points, or anything in. It's literally just a printed data sheet with the counters. And he's like, well, it doesn't, it's not of any benefit really. And Phil actually agreed. He says, look, especially with Maggotkin, because of all the extra buffs he gets from each characters. I mean, you faced these Maggotkin with your Sylvanas before, and how hard were them Plague Bearers to take down?
Yeah.
Just because of the amount of buffs and everything they had, and keeping track of what's on them is hard work. Like even you struggle when you play Nalroot, don't you? Because of all the extra artifacts that she takes, plus each character's got like 3 or 4 spells instead of just 2. Because they've got the Ornn, they've got the Nalroot, they've got Mystic Shield, Arcane Bolt, and then one from Deepwood. So.
Yep, it's a lot. So they are handy. I mean, yeah, people can just go and make their own or whatever, but it's nice. Like for a true collector, you've got one army. It's the only one you put your money towards, or your family want to buy your stuff.
Yep.
So.
With me, like I said earlier, I normally pick stuff up really, really quickly. With Daughters of Cain, though, there's so many like spells and buffs and prayers, and I'm not used that much because I don't normally play like magic heavy armies. Even if you look at my 40k armies, I very rarely play Psykers.
Because you power every time.
Every time. Apart from against Bryn when I got Mirror of Minds off.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I actually put a video up in the Harlequin page. I got Mirror of Minds off. It was beautiful. You dice off, and if you roll equal to or better than your opponent, the unit takes a mortal wound, and you continue rolling until your opponent beats you. Well, we rolled very well over how many wounds the vehicle had. Just a shame it was only a Rhino that I cast it on, but never mind. It was good fun. Right, so Arcane Bolt now only does 1 mortal wound, Lucy. But it's much like Smite in 40k. If you roll, if you roll a 10 or more, the unit suffers D3 mortal wounds instead.
Will that go with if you're +1 cast?
Yes. So if you roll a 9 and you're at +1, it counts as 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mystic Shield, reroll 1s. Nah. We've seen Banishment. The cards, we'll probably pick the cards up. The spell cards, especially if there's like It's going to be a full deck, so it's probably going to be between 10, 1250 maybe, when you consider there's going to be 49 cards.
Yep.
And the endless spells will probably be in there. I think we're pretty much going over everything that we've already seen now. Obviously, this is the blog that we're going off. So credit to AOSshorts.com for all of this and amalgamating it all into one.
You're very handy.
Here we go. This is the Raven and Hunger one. After this model has moved, each unit that the model passed over always within an inch suffers D3 mortal wounds, in addition subtract 1 from the bravery. So it's like a smaller version of the purple sun, but it looks as though that might be destruction specific. So
it is such a funny model.
And then we've looked at lookouts. Here we go. New artifacts. So Akshi, the Realm of Fire. In your shooting phase, you can pick an enemy unit within 8 inches of the bearer, roll a dice, and on a 4+, that unit suffers 1 mortal wound. Essence of Vulcatrix. Once per battle at the start of your hero phase, the bearer may drink the essence. If they do so, roll a dice. On the roll of a 1, the bearer suffers D3 mortal wounds. On a 2+, add 1 to the hit and wound rolls for the bearer until your next hero phase. That
sounds familiar.
Yes, it's Battle Brew.
Yeah, and what do you always roll for that again?
Oh no, that's slightly different. It was the elixir tokens for the Beast Claw.
Yeah, but what do you usually roll?
Well, it does mortal wounds to the enemy if you roll a 2, rather than giving you +1 to hit. But I always roll a 1. Same with butchers. When they eat from the cauldron, I always roll a 1 and hurt myself. But note to self as well, always. I forget about that. The banner in the ogre unit can eat spells. I always forget about that. Betrayer's Crown. Pick an enemy unit within 3 of the bearer that has 2 or more models. Roll a dice for each model in that enemy unit. What's that? Fire Brigade.
Yep.
Surprise, surprise. Next door's probably on fire again. That's a joke, by the way. It's not. It's probably up the street somewhere. But it's like the police were flying around when Brim was here the other night as well, you know. Yeah.
There was an ambulance up the street the other day.
Yeah.
We kind of had a little extra drive up just to see what was going on, but we couldn't see anything.
No. So there's loads and loads of extra spells here, which I'm not going to go over because it would take forever. The only Stormcast focus that there's been was a Sacrosanct Chamber. Slaves to Darkness have been covered.
I haven't actually started looking at them yet. I'd rather do, because I've only got the few models for them, I'll concentrate on the other armies first.
Yeah, so Lucy, obviously, there's not that many Slaanesh models, is there?
No.
Hellstriders, Seekers, Fiends.
I need to get some Fiends. They're so funny models.
There's like, technically you can have 5 different chariots. Because you can have a Seeker, Exalted Seeker, and a Hellflayer. But the Seeker and Exalted Seeker can have a Herald on instead.
Yep. But that just complicates it more for me.
It does. And then basically any of the Slaanesh models beyond the Keeper of Secrets and a Demon Prince basically have to come from Slaves to Darkness. But you've got 2 Gorbeast chariots.
I do.
Which you can swap over as Chaos chariots, which are battle line for Slaves to Darkness Allegiance. She's also got Chaos Knights, which are battle line for Slaves to Darkness Allegiance.
Yep.
So of course she can technically run the Slaves to Darkness army as well if she gets just a couple of random more models.
What's with all the S's? Every army I've got the S's.
Stormcast, Sylvaneth, Slaanesh, Slaves to Darkness. Don't know. I
am not getting sorry for before anyone says out.
That would be your next one though, wouldn't it?
No.
No, it'd be Adneth. Iron Jaws. Gordrak and Maw Crushers will cost less points. You like Gordrak, don't you?
Who's that?
Cabbage.
Oh my god, the game I had against Bryn that I tried to record. I had a unit of Judicators, 2 units of Long Strikes, Celestant on Dragoth, Celestant on foot. And
yeah, the Trino Ancient Allied in.
All that to get rid of him. And he was already on less than half rounds.
Yeah. Fire Slayer is another faction with a lot of hero options that can benefit from command ability changes. I don't know Fire Slayers. The problem is you've got 3 characters on top of the Magma Droth, and then you've got them all on foot. So it's almost like Beast Claws, where you've got a Huskard and a Stone Lord on either beast. Host of Slanesh. Slanesh is confirmed to be entrapped between the realms of Ulgu and Haish. There. And look, there's Shadespire. So Slanesh is trapped there, and Ulgu, the Shadow Realm, that is where Morathai is from, and that's where she siphons all of the souls off to. And the Adneth, I believe, are from Haish.
I cannot wait to see Bryn.
Yeah.
Bryn, he's busy painting mine, he's cracking right on with him. And expect soon, I doubt it'll be before the new edition, there is a battle battalion of Idneth and Sylvaneth teaming up, and we're going to do it against, it'll be me and Bryn, be Harry and Bryn's wife Emma, and their corn. Chaos.
Yeah. So this is the new artwork for Slanesh that they released. Basically, there he is. There's his heart. There's the chains holding him in place. There's his claw.
Who reckons he's going to escape?
Of course he's going to escape. He knows that the souls are being siphoned now.
And he's waking up and he's really pulling himself around. Just like he's got a bad hangover, innit?
Yeah. Of course, loads of stuff here for each faction, which I'm not going to cover each faction. We just wanted to look at the main rules. However, Sylvaneth, point reductions for Kurnoth Hunters and Spirit of Durthu.
Oh, thank God for that.
Both Alariel and Branch Wraiths benefit from the new summoning rules, allowing models to be brought on without paying for reinforcement points. Dryads! Branch Wraith.
Alariel can summon anything, even a tree lord.
Branch Wraith's Roused to Wrath spell has been modified. Alariel's Solamaphora has changed and it is now once per game ability.
Oh.
But it will get you a free unit.
It will.
Is that the one where she just heals all units D3?
No, that's separate. It's she can put a summon a unit.
Right.
Basically.
Oh, there. Now she. Oh, there's another fire engine or a police car. 20 Dryads, 10 Revenants, 10 Spites, 3 Hunters, 1 Branch Witch, or 1 Tree Lord, not an Ancient. But still, not bad. No. It is the D3. In your hero phase, you can heal D3 wounds allocated to each Sylvaneth model within 30 inches. Once per battle in your hero phase, instead of using this ability, you can summon 1 unit from the list below. So that's not bad to just go bang, 20 more Dryads.
That's phenomenal.
Skaven, Flesh Eater Courts, and...
We need to get some more Skaven on the channel because we've had them
once. Yeah.
So if you're local and a Skaven player, please get in touch.
There we go, back to both cams. Right, catching up on Adneth Love at the Double. By the way, about Stormcast, what Lucy going to like it more? Half the kids of them are girls. Yes. We've seen options even for secretaries and such. Yeah, man, that's awesome.
It's about time. I know we're still at least 2, maybe 3 weeks away from all this, but I'm so excited about it because everyone knows it's been 40k all over the last last year.
Yeah.
We've got the new handbook, we're getting new armies, which is fab if you're rich.
In fact, how my daughter's army, even with Justin's 20% discount, cost me an arm and a leg, and my birthday money, and thank you very much the Patreon's support as well.
So to see all this, I mean, it's took them a long time to get it, but it's obviously took a long time to think of all these new rules. It's Celestial Lions, not bears.
They look like bears. I wasn't far off.
They do look like bears. But it's so excited and I'm really starting again to find me love. That's why I stopped painting altogether for ages. And then I was like, just gave up on.
You did go through a couple of weeks where you really fell in love with your Slanesh and you were like, I love this, and you got loads of it done, and then you just
I hit a brick
fell.
wall.
Yeah. But it's like with your Stormcast though, isn't it? You got bored of painting it.
Yeah.
Like, in fairness, I can understand. She's painted 30 demonettes. And to be honest, I'm surprised she made it through 30, no offense. She's still got 30 more to go though. So
Yeah, you did Vandus, but instead of listening to you, we booked a holiday.
the problem I've got is I've just started borrowing money off my mum to fix my car, which I am paying back. And the night release for me is going to be very minimal. There's some cool stuff that I wouldn't mind. They're actually doing a stainless steel 6-inch gauge. So it's got the 3-inch measure, the 6-inch measure.
Just getting rid of all the gauges.
No, we haven't. That was templates.
Oh.
You know, like your little 3-inch measuring
Yeah,
gauge. It's like that, but it's 6 inches. So that is coming. Knights are getting dice. I don't know why. Like, why didn't Harlequins? Eldar got like 6 different versions of dice. Harlequins didn't yet. Knights do. They are getting some scenery, and me and Lucy discussed this earlier. The scenery is actually a piece of the Sector Mechanicus one with the plasma conduit pipes. There's no point in me getting it.
So how sweet.
Oh, the scenery?
Yeah.
Because it's a combination of 2 of the others.
Oh, yeah, and you just bought them both.
Well, not just. I think I got them before Christmas, didn't I?
Maybe. Can't remember.
I'm sure we used them in the Imperial Night game, actually, because, strangely enough, the bit of scenery that's there, I've actually kind of already used because I kind of docked my knight in the scenery. Can you remember when I built it all? And it was Tau versus... and I built it all, and I kind of docked it in. I do like...
Oh, yeah.
Who has subscribed? Oh, I don't have the notifications set. Oh well. Thank you very much, whoever subscribed. And if you're watching the channel now, thank you very much for tuning in.
Yeah, Kevin, it's... I do that a lot, and then with him having so much, I usually just pick something up of his to paint, but...
So that it's a bit different.
Lately, I was just not... I don't want to paint anything. And I think I was part of it. I was just a bit miffed about how...
She's done this for me. It's took her a couple of weeks, because you've been on and off, and but she's done that, which is very handy because I couldn't be bothered to do it. She's done me a Trigon, and when I get it out, the small one. So adding to the Tyranid force, which if I can get young Philip back around sometime soon, we're going to have a Tyranid day.
And I'm painting something else.
Stormcast.
Big night.
Oh yeah, she's been painting a lot of this Khitan with us as well.
That's in your hand. Can you use that in Sigmar? You can't.
No. No.
Yes, that is why he calls it a bollock, Rick.
It's a Tyranid bollock.
So.
And it only carries 20 infantry. But I think if I ever got 3 more Hive Guard, right, I would absolutely just deploy 6 Hive Guard from it.
Shall we always call it night?
Yeah, I think we're going to call it there because it is getting on and I'm back at work tomorrow. But yeah, Sigmar is coming. No doubt my White Dwarf will turn up tomorrow. Only 20 needs IVF, I reckon. Yeah, I'm back at work tomorrow, but my White Dwarf will probably turn up tomorrow, which means that I will have release dates and stuff ready probably. So if you are about tomorrow, as soon as I get in from work, I will be doing a White Dwarf overview, providing it turns up. And you can see what all the newest releases are going to be. But yeah, that's it from us. I'm nearly done with this.
I just want to actually say thank you to Rick. He went to Warhammer Fest.
Yeah.
And he got me the Stormcast pin badge, and I absolutely love it. Thank you.
Yep, thank you very much for that, Rick. It was greatly appreciated. Awesome. I got tomorrow off. I'll be here. It'll be, let's have a look. 5:30. We take 4 hours off. Is 5:30. It'll be in 20 hours, Kevin, probably.
Doing the stream.
Yeah, actually, I'll probably do a live stream because now I've got this set up thanks to Rick. I can put it here. And I don't even have to set my tripod up. I don't have to film it on my camera to then copy it to my laptop to import it into Premiere and do everything else.
Awesome.
So I can literally just do it straight from here. So, yeah. Thank you very much, Rick. Thank you for everybody that has supported the channel, especially the Patreons. Remember, if you do support us on Patreon, you do get early access to battle reports. You can join in the group chat and the Facebook group. There's
pick out battles,
yes,
armies,
yep,
lists.
Yep, you get access to the Excel file with all of the armies in there that we've got painted up, and you can suggest battle reports and choose the armies. So thank you very much, everybody, for all of your support, and we will see you again very, very soon. Good night.